30-15. Only one serve break, remember, so if Gilbert can find a way to break Edberg's serve, then he'll be back on serve.
Edberg knows his job right now. It's to put Gilbert away. Don't let up.
No. Lovely to watch, but they've been few and far between.
Just that little bit of extra pace on the serve causing Gilbert problems. Not beaten Gilbert since 1987. We alluded you to the fact that the last couple of times they've played, Gilbert has won. Not so tonight.
Doesn't look like Stefan Edberg is going to be tonight. 5-2 and 6-1 in the first set. It is 10:14 p.m. as you look at this young lady enjoying the tennis. Time to go home, probably pretty soon. Well, Gilbert serving to try to get himself back in this match. I'll remind you one more time that if he loses this, he has no chance of making the semifinals on Saturday.
And if he loses this, then his next match is against Andre Agassi. And so that is a meaningless match as far as the point standing is concerned. But however, there's $30,000 on it for the winner.
Dirty love. Good return, 30 all. Edberg potentially 2 points from place in the semi-final of the Nabisco Masters for this year. And the last Nabisco Masters, by the way, that will be played next year. The ATP Tour takes over, and the ATP Finals will be played in West Germany. Frankfurt in November.
But Gilbert was asked whether he was going to play the first Grand Slam tournament of the year in Australia in January. He said he hasn't played there for 3 years. He'll see how he feels after this tournament, after a bit of a rest, and then decide whether to go down there.
Gilbert holds on 5 games to 3, so similar in score in a lot of other ways to the match that was played earlier today. Andre Agassi going down to Boris Becker.
Thank you.
Edberg serving for the match, love 15.
He's lost the first point, and this is the toughest time for him to close out. He's serving for the match, and Gilbert is now able to have a crack at a second serve if he gets it. And he doesn't need the second serve. Stefan Edberg has this problem all year, closing matches out. Against Crickstein in Tokyo, he had opportunities, had match points, lost it.
In the meantime, Mary Carrillo has left commentary position. She did so a little while ago to go down and interview the winner. Brad Gilbert wants to keep her waiting. Love 30.
Good volley there from Edberg, because it was a fine return right down low from Brad Gilbert. Gilbert doesn't give up, never has.
But he won't get to that one. What a fine drop shot.
Tremendous play there from Stefan Edberg, because he's been burnt on 3 occasions with the drop shot. And this one he just had to play to perfection, because Gilbert anticipates it, and it was just too good a shot.
Again, like he was last time on Gilbert's serve, 2 points potentially from the match for Stefan Edberg, this time on his serve. Yep.
Gilbert's only had one break point opportunity. He's got another one now. Edberg's converted 4 out of 8.
It is tough to play at 5 o'clock, which is when the matches start here in New York, because the crowd at that point is relatively sparse. It is equally difficult, I suppose, to play at this time of night for the same reason.
Well, Gilbert's played both matches late, and of course Edberg played the first match yesterday and the last match tonight, so he's had a tough time of it as well.
Match point for Edberg.
Kick serve to the backhand, close in, knock off the volley. That's what he's hoping for. Let's see if he does it. Well, that's what he had in mind.
Not to be denied, Stefan Edberg wins the first one, 6-1. Had a little difficulty serving it out, but only temporarily. 1-3 is the score, and Stefan Edberg is in the semifinals of the Nabisco Masters here in Madison Square Garden in New York. We'll come back with more as you look at another of this championship's winners of the day. King of the late shows, Brad Gilbert, who came second tonight, is at courtside with Mary Carrillo. Mary?
Thanks, Cliff. Brad, you went up against a guy who was on fire tonight.
My returns were getting up a little bit tonight, but he was all over the first volley. Anytime I got it up, he was just pounding it.
What about, compared with last night? Last night was so tough, so competitive. Did that take too much out of you for this match?
You know, everybody likes to make excuses, but you know, he served well, and then he just didn't give me any opportunities. I mean, last night was history. I mean, tonight was a new night, and you know, as you say, I mean, he had too much heat for me tonight.
You beat him twice this year. Was he that much better, or did you play a lot better?
Well, this year I've been fairly lucky. I was about 8 or 9-0 against Sweden this year, and
wait, that's including who?
I've beaten Edberg a couple times. I've beaten Jarrett. I've beaten Gunnarsson, Svensson. I had a good year against the Swedes, but I came to a big halt tonight. He played awfully well, and if he plays like that, you know, he has a good chance to win the tournament.
You have one more match to play, but mathematically it doesn't look good for you. You have to go up against Andre Agassi, another late night Brad Gilbert special tomorrow night. How do you play a match like that?
Well, actually, I still got something at stake because I need to win the match because put pressure on McEnroe because we're head and head for 4th and 5th in the Grand Prix. So, and it's an important match for me still to win, and hopefully I'll come out and play a little better tomorrow.
Tell me if it's not also important going into Davis Cup next year. I mean, Captain Gorman has got to be trying to figure out who he's going to use, and you know, McEnroe has already said he doesn't want to play in the first round. You've got to think about Michael Chang surely, and you've got to think about if Andre's going to play it or perhaps you.
It'll be interesting. You know, I'm 29 next year, and there's a good chance they'll go to the youth.
You think so? You've proven to be such a capable and accomplished Davis Cup player in the last couple of years.
Well, you know, I mean, if the call is there, I'll be there. But if not, you know, I'm looking forward to you know, a good 90, and hopefully, Freddie, if you're listening, I'm going to learn to serve a lot better next year.
That was to Fred Stolle. One last question: is your 89 over? Are you going to go home, go have Christmas, and is that it?
I've got one more match tomorrow, and then I've got the stakes match in Florida, and then I'm taking off about 8 weeks, and I'm going to learn to serve. I'm not going to Australia, and I'm just dedicating myself to serving.
We'll be watching. Thanks a lot, Fred.
Thanks, buddy.
Back to you, Cliffy.
What do you think, Fred? He says, what do you think about that?
That's unbelievable. I like Brad Gilbert's attitude. He's a good man. He's been a favourite of mine, and he never gives up. That second serve has bothered him for years, and 8 weeks he's going to work on the serve. Let's hope it gets better.
I don't think he needs all that time. Edberg over Gilbert easily, 6-1, 6-3. So the man from Sweden is in the semifinals of this championship, along with, in his division, Boris Becker. We'll be back.